Welcome to another video in the SAP S/4HANA Fixed Assets playlist. In the last videos, I explained how to post fixed asset acquisition through asset under construction and investment orders or work breakdown structure elements. And there I received many questions on these videos. In the video today, I will start answering your questions, and I will start with the most frequent one. Can we use the same asset under construction across multiple investment orders or WBS elements? And the second question is, can we post directly to an asset under construction? And the answer to both of these questions is yes. So today I will show you in SAP S/4HANA 2021 how to use an AUC across different orders and WBS elements and how to post directly to an AUC. In the demos I did in the previous videos, the AUC was always created automatically when we release the object. So when we release the investment order or the WBS element, an AUC was created automatically, and this AUC was also assigned automatically to the settlement rule. And there we had no control to change the assignment of this AUC to the settlement rule, and also this AUC can only accept postings through the settlement of the object that created it. So when an AUC is created through an investment order automatically, only this investment order can settle values to this AUC, and we cannot use it to post directly from finance or from material management. And we can also not use this AUC with other investment orders or WBS elements. So if we have the business requirement to use the same AUC with different investment orders or WBS elements, then in this case we have to create the AUC manually, and also we need to change something in the investment order and the WBS element master data to prevent them from creating an automatic AUC, and then we will assign the manual AUC to the settlement rules. Let me show you how to do this. So first, let's create an investment order without an AUC. To create an investment order, we go to the transaction KO04. I will go faster this time because I already demonstrated how all of this works. And here I will create a new investment order. Now the order type I will use is 0650. This is the same order type I used in the other demo with the automatic AUC. Here we have the controlling area, the company code, the profit center is 1000. Now the difference is when we go to the investment tab, here the investment profile, I will use an investment profile that will not create an AUC automatically. So here, as you see, I have multiple, and the one I will use today is AG without AUC line item settlement. So these are investment profiles I created for the demo. I will also create another video to explain the configuration of the investment profile, and I will leave you a link at the end of this video. So this is the investment profile I'm using, which will not create an AUC. Now let's go back to the control data and release this order. So as you see, the order status is released and there is no AUC created. If you remember in the last demo, once we released, there was here the status REL and AUC. Now there is no AUC. And if we go here to the settlement rule, or if we go to extras, asset under construction, there is no asset under construction related to this order yet. Let me insert here a description. So let's say common AUC. Okay. And then I will go to the settlement rule, and here I will assign my own manual created AUC. Now let's go to the other screen to create an AUC, and to do this we go to the fixed asset master data creation screen. The transaction code is AS01. Now the asset class I will use is asset under construction. If we check here the asset class available, we have asset under construction and asset under construction as investment measure. The one that is as investment measure is to be created automatically for the investment measures. Investment measures are either the investment order or WBS elements that should create an AUC automatically. So the one I will use for the manual creation is this one, 4000, asset under construction. These are standard asset classes that you can find in any best practice SAP system. So normally you can find these asset classes exactly in your system also. So the one I will use is 4000. Here we have the company code, number of similar assets 1, enter. And now let's insert any description. So let's say common AUC testing 2. And then we can also insert a cost center. We have here the profit center and the segment. And this is all for now. Save. Now let me take this AUC number and copy and paste it here in my notes. So this is our AUC. Now let's go back to our settlement screen. So this is the settlement rule for the investment order we just created. Now the category is FXA, and here's the asset we just created, and enter. And here in the settlement I will choose periodic. So this is my settlement rule. So when I run periodic settlement of this investment order, it will settle to this AUC. And then the last step of settling the AUC to a final asset will not happen through investment orders. I will show you the full process. So now this is my settlement rule, and this is all I will maintain here. I'm not going to maintain a final asset for final settlement because this will not happen through this process at all. Now let me go back here, save, and then now we have the status released and settlement rule created. So this is the first investment order. Now let's go and create a work breakdown structure element without an automatic AUC and assign the same AUC that we just created. To create a WBS element, we go to the transaction CJ88. And then let's go here to this project. And I will create a new WBS. I already explained all of this before in detail, so I'm going faster this time. If you have any questions about the screen, you can check the other demo for the work breakdown structure elements and the AUC. I will leave you a link here. Now let's go to create a WBS element. And here I can use the description common AUC test 2. And this is our WBS. Let me post the value here. And if we go also to the assignment tab, here we have object class is investment, normal, the profit center is 1000. So this is all exactly as what I did in the last demo. The difference is also that we will use a different investment profile. So let's go here to the control, and here in the investment profile, we have the same investment profiles that we used in the investment order because they are common between WBS and investment orders. And I will use the same investment profile, so without AUC line item settlement. Okay. Now let's go back to basic data. And as you see, the system status now is created. Let's release it. So edit, status, release. And now the order is released. And as you see, we don't have AUC. There is no automatic AUC created. Now let's go to the settlement rule. So edit, cost, settlement rule. And here the category is also FXA, and the settlement receiver is our AUC that we created manually. So now as you see, the same AUC has been used in an investment order and a WBS element, and we can also use it as we want in any different investment orders and elements. This one will be also 100%, and the settlement rule I will use is also periodic settlement. Enter. Now let's go back and save. So now we have a WBS element and we have an investment order. Let's switch back to the investment order. This is our investment order number. Now let's move to the next step. I will post a financial entry, a direct financial entry that will have multiple lines. It will post to the AUC directly. It will also post expense values to the investment order and some expense values to the WBS element. So this way we tried all the cases, direct posting and posting to the different investment measures. To post a financial entry, I will go to the transaction /OF-02 11/01/2023. Now for the first line item, I will post a debit directly to the AUC. So this was the question I received in the comments, and here you can see how it happens. So here I have posting key 70. The account, I will insert here the AUC number. And the transaction type is 100. Whenever we post to an asset, we have to choose a transaction type. This is how SAP understands what is the type of transaction we are posting from the asset point of view. And this we can see in the asset history sheet. It is a very important report that shows all the transactions that happen to any asset. And for SAP to be able to categorize the transactions, whenever we post to an asset, we have to choose a transaction type. Transaction type 100 is for external asset acquisition. Enter. Let's say the value will be 5,000. tax code is V0. So this is the first line item we have. We are posting 5,000 debit to the AUC directly. Now the second line item, let's say it will be a debit expense, so 40, and expense, this is our electricity expense account, enter. And here the amount, let's say 7,000. And our order, I will insert here the order number, the investment order, and this is the order number here, enter. So now we have 7,000 to our investment order. And the third line will be also a debit to the same expense account, but this time it will be to our WBS element. So here we have WBS, and let's say the value will be 9,000. Now the last line to balance the financial entry is a credit to our bank account. So we paid all of this through our bank account. A credit is 50, and the account I will use is this one. And here I will insert an asterisk. This way SAP will calculate all the values. And then the profit center is also 1,000. Now let's see the overview of the financial entry. So here we have 3 debits. We have 1 debit to this AUC. We have 1 debit to electricity expense to the investment order, and 1 to the electricity expense to the WBS element. And we have a credit to the bank account, and the net is 0. Let's post. Now let's proceed with the settlement. So now we have some values posted to the WBS. We have some values posted to the investment order. We have some values posted directly to the AUC. In the next step, I will settle the WBS element and the investment order to the AUC. Then we can go to the AUC and see the total value that's there. Of course, in real life, we can do multiple postings. This is just an example. Now let's proceed with the settlement. To settle a WBS element, if you remember from the WBS demo, we go to the transaction CJ88. So /n CJ88. And here we insert our WBS element. And then we have test run, detail list, and check transaction data. And here we can either choose full settlement, or we can choose automatic or by period. It will not change anything. And then execute. So we have 1 settlement executed if we check the details. So we have the sender. The sender is this GL account, 9,000. And the receiver is our AUC. It will receive 9,000 through the same cost element. And this is all good. Now let's go back, remove the test run, and execute again. Go again to the settlement, and we can check the financial entry now. So we have 2 accounting documents because I'm using parallel ledgers. I have 0L and 2L. One of them is GAAP, the other is IFRS. Let's go to the first one. And here, as you see, we have a credit to electricity expense and a debit to our AUC, 9,000, 9,000. So all good so far. Now let's go to the other settlement of the investment order. To settle an investment order, if you remember from the investment order demo, the transaction is /n and KO88. Here we insert the order number, and then again we can either choose full settlement or automatic or by period. It will be the same. Then we have test run and check transaction data, and we can also check the settlement rule from here. So here is our settlement rule. This is our common AUC. Let's go back and execute. We also have 1 line executed. Now if we check here, the sender is our order, the receiver is the AUC, and the value is 7,000. All good. Now let's go back and remove the test run, execute again. Now let's see the financial entry. So accounting document, we also have the same 2 accounting documents. If we go to the first one, here we have a credit to the electricity expense and a debit to our AUC for 7,000. Now let's go back. So far we have settled everything to our AUC. To see all the values that we settled, we can go to the AUC master data. So if we go here to /n AS03, display fixed asset master data, this is our AUC number. And if we go here to asset values, we can see here that we have 5,000 and 9,000 and 7,000. So this is the one that was posted with the external asset acquisition. As you see, the transaction type is here, and this is the one that was posted through settlement, and this is also through settlement. And here we can see in the assignment the original objects. So here we have the WBS element, and here we have the investment order. So all good so far. The total value posted to this AUC now is 21,000, and we continue like this. So this is the first period, then we do the second period, the third period, until the AUC is ready to be settled to a final asset. Now the last step in the process is to settle the AUC to a final asset. So first let's create another asset. So here I will go to asset create, the transaction is AS01. The asset class I will use is 2000, this one is for machines. And now let's say this is the machine AUC common test. And then time dependent, we have the cost center 1000. And then we have also the profit center and segment, and all is good. Now let's save. And here is our fixed asset number. So let's copy it and paste. Now let's go ahead and settle the AUC to the final asset. And this is the step that will be different from the last process. So the settlement this time will happen from the financial module. For this we go to accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, posting, capitalize asset under construction. Then we have distribute and settle. Distribute is to be used to create the settlement rule, and settle is to be used to settle the AUC to the final asset. So first we go to distribute. Here we insert the AUC number. So let me insert it, execute. Here are the lines we have in our AUC. As you see, we have 6 lines because there are 2 ledgers. If we organize them, or if we sort them by the ledger group, we can see that they are repeated. So we have 3 posted to our main ledger and 3 posted to our secondary ledger. And the value is the same that we posted. We can subtotal here. So now each of them has 21,000. They are exactly equal to each other. And we can choose different settlement rules for each of them. So now this is very interesting. Let me show you how this works. So now I can choose for every line and then click on enter and insert a settlement rule. I can also select multiple lines together, then go again to enter and insert a settlement rule. So this is what I will do now. Here the settlement rule is, the category is FXA for fixed assets, and the receiver is our final asset. So again, as explained before, these screens are very flexible. I can insert multiple assets. So I can settle 50% to this asset and 20% to another asset and so on. And there is the percentage of settlement. So because this is a question I received a lot, we can settle to multiple fixed assets. This is okay. And then go back. And if I want to change the settlement rule assigned to any of them, I can choose the line and then go again to enter. And here we can choose to either create new or change the existing rule. Now let's assign rules to the 2 remaining lines. So these 2 lines, I will assign again to the same rule. So category is FXA. And here is our asset, enter. Now let's go back. And the remaining line, so this one that's for 9,000. Let's say that because I'm using different ledgers, one of them is IFRS, the other is GAAP. Let's say that this line, for example, I want to settle to a cost center in IFRS. Just an example. So this line, the same line is also available here in 0L. 0L is IFRS. 2L is GAAP in my configuration. So now let's say in GAAP, this value doesn't apply as a capital expense. I want to settle it to a cost center. So here I can assign a different rule. So again, I will select the line and then go to enter. And here I will settle to CTR 1000. I'm not saying that this is a valid business case. I'm just saying this is available in SAP because there are cases where the asset valuation is different between the different accounting principles. And if we have cases like this, as you see, this is available in the system. So here I will settle this to a cost center. Now let's go back. All of them are green now. This is okay. I can save the settlement rules. And then I can go to settlement from here, or I can go back and go to the next transaction to settle. Here I insert the asset, the AUC number, and then we have the document date and the posting date. Now, when I did the settlement from the investment orders and the WBS elements, they were posted automatically at the end of the current month, which is 31st of January. If I leave the posting date as of 11, then when I do the settlement, SAP will only read the values that will be posted until 11. And since I want SAP to read all the values I settled, then I will choose here 31 of January. So this is very important. If you try to settle and then you find that there are some values not getting settled, then try to check that the posting date is after the posting date of all the other settlements and all the other postings that happen to the AUC. So here I have the posting date is 31 of January. and then execute. I have also the test run and detail list checked. And here we have our settlement. So the first line, we have a settlement on 0L, so our IFRS, we have a settlement of 21,000, so the full value is settled to the fixed asset, the machine AUC. And then to a cost center, we have 0, so nothing is settled to the cost center for the leading ledger. On the second ledger, on the other hand, we have only 12,000 posted to our asset, and we have 9,000 settled to our cost center. This is exactly what we maintained in the settlement rules. Now let's go back, remove the test run, and execute again. And the settlement is done. Now let's go to the fixed asset values to see how this impacted our final asset. So first let's go to /n AS03, display fixed asset, and display our AUC. And here, as you see, we have still a value remaining in our AUC for 16,000, and the settlement posted is only 5,000. So apparently I did something wrong in the settlement. Let's go back to the settlement screen. And let's again do the test run. So here, 31st, test run and execute. So we still have 16,000 that was not settled in the last time. And the reason why this happened is because I did the same exact mistake I just warned you not to do. Because now, after I do the test run, when I go back to the initial screen, SAP automatically changes the date back to today's date, 11th of January. So when I run the production run, it only settled the values posted until 11, and it didn't post the values that were settled from the investment order and the WBS element. So again, be careful before running the production run or the test run in this transaction to double check the dates. So here I will insert 31st of January, and I will remove the test run and execute. And now we should have the full value posted. So here we have 16,000 settled. Now let's go to our AUC again. And now we have 0 balance remaining and all the value has been settled. Now let's go to our new asset, the machine. Here, enter. So this is our machine AUC common. And as you see, it has a value that was posted of 21,000. And it has a planned depreciation of 2,100 because now this is a productive asset. And here we are checking only the first area. So the first area is, so actually the leading ledger is GAAP and the second ledger is IFRS. So now this is the one that we use to settle the full value. So the full value was settled to the fixed asset in the leading ledger, which is our GAAP ledger. This is why here we can see 21,000 and the planned depreciation is 2,100. Now if we switch to the secondary ledger, so click here, we'll see the total value posted is only 12,000 because there is 9,000 that we settled to a cost center. So for the secondary ledger, for IFRS, we only have 12,000 and the remaining, the planned depreciation is 1,200. So now you can see how parallel ledger works in fixed assets. We can have different acquisition values posted and we can have also different depreciation planned. And then when we run the periodic depreciation, it will be different for every ledger. This is a very flexible and a very strong solution for fixed assets in SAP S/4HANA. And this is the end of today's video. So now you see, we can use the same AUC across different investment measures, and also we can post directly to the AUC, but you need to consider the changes that will happen in the process. So based on your business requirement, you can either use this process or you can use the one that I demonstrated in the last videos. If you have any other questions or comments on the process, don't hesitate to leave me your comments on the video. I will do my best to answer all of them, and I will also leave you links to the configuration videos once they are ready. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.